sailors, sliders, the same thing, except they threw a little more spitballs than they do today.
So looking at Biggio, he got his 3,000 hits. He's in the Hall of Fame. Altuve, he's likely on that same pace. How would you compare the two players? Because I think this is something as Astros fans we tend to do. They're both, I mean, Altuve is likely to go to Hall of Fame, hopefully, but with his, is he likely going to, you said you were able to predict when Biggio was going to get his 3,000 hits. Do you think that Altuve will be able to do it? And do you think, how do they compare?
Actually, I think Altuve will. And I actually said it 10 years ago that Altuve was going to end up being 3,000 hit guy and going to be in the Hall of Fame, but or not 10, about when he first came to the big leagues, because he's just a hit. Altuve, and this is why I knew Altuve didn't cheat. And I confirmed this with, later when the Astros went through all this sort of stuff. I told AJ, I said, AJ, I just got to say something. I don't think Altuve's the kind of hitter that likes to know what's coming. That's not the way he thinks. And Biggio is exactly the same way. Biggio and Altuve are very similar in their style, in that they start their swing and then find the ball. Almost everybody else in baseball sees the ball and then takes their swing to it. Those two get started and then go hit the ball. And that's why they can look so foolish sometimes. A big, slow breaking ball, and they'll look foolish swinging it because they've already started their swing. So, but what happens if somebody is over there, making noise and telling them that a slider's coming, it gets in their head and they can't think that way. That's not the way they hit. So I can promise you, Altuve didn't like it. If they tried to do it, he probably told them to stop. So, but at any rate, that's where they were similar on hitting. Biggio was much more intense, a much more intense player. If you look at Altuve, he's much more relaxed in the field. Now at the plate, he's intense, but and he gets geared up, and the man can swing the bat. There's no doubt. But so could Biggio. Biggio was one of the best pure hitters I've ever seen. It just putting the bat on the ball, and Altuve's right there with him. They can handle the bat, and they can get the bat head on the ball as good as anybody that's ever played the game. And that's why Altuve will be a Hall of Fame. Now he's got to stay healthy. So you got to stay on the field. And that was one of the remarkable things about Biggio. He rarely was injured. The guy played, and I had the pleasure of seeing Biggio play his first game. I was there as a coach when he played his first game, and I was there when he got his 3,000 hit. And so then he retired. So I was able to compare, and what my comment was, and that stands today, that he played as hard on that first at bat in his major league that he did on the last at bat in the major league and in every at bat in between. And Altuve does the same thing. They're both remarkable players in that regard.
Yeah, I agree with you.